We continue again to delve into this book of Job, and we are learning about this great man who faithfully walked with God. And the Bible says Job was blameless. Job was a man after God's heart. He was upright. But guess what? Even though Job loved God uprightly and blamelessly, Job faced challenges of life. And therefore, friends, this means that as children of God, we will find challenges in this journey of life. And sometimes life might beat us left, right, and center. But we need to grow our faith and keep trusting God. Now in chapter 2, I want to talk about holding on to God when the pain becomes personal. Holding on to God when pain becomes personal. Remember in chapter 1, the attack on Job was on his children, was on his prosperity, the cattle, the sheep, and all things that God had blessed him with. But now when he overcame in chapter 1, the enemy never rested. Just because you have overcome your first temptation and you are victorious doesn't mean that the enemy will relent. The enemy will always attack us as children of God. And now see, the Bible says on another day, the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them to present himself before him. Now, if the devil has confidence to go in the presence of God, he can't fear you. If the enemy has the confidence, or to realize that the angels are meeting, and he also takes a step to go, then the enemy can attack you in your marriage. The enemy can attack your children. The enemy can attack you from any angle of your life. And this calls us to be alert spiritually. That's why even the enemy attacking Jesus Christ, the Son of God, and who is God himself. So the enemy is not fearing you just because you are reading the word. The enemy is not fearing you just because you go to church. But I am here to remind you that regardless of what the enemy does, we must hold on to God. When the pain becomes personal. And now, having attacked Job from all other angles, the enemy says he's not yet done with Job. He attacks his body. He causes pain now in his body. He causes sores, painful wounds on his body. Job chapter 2 brings us deeper pain, deeper into the weight of suffering in the life of Job. His body is afflicted. His health is broken. And his closest companion, his wife, urges him to give up. And the wife tells him, why don't you deny God? Why don't you deny God? Are you still holding on to your integrity? Sometimes challenges come around our life, and even the people that are closest to us are asking, are you not giving up? Have you never had an experience where you were sick and some people say that let him die, and then God brought you up? When you had that child in the hospital where everyone lost hope, even you had lost hope, and then God brought back this child back to life. That is the God that we serve. People around Job had given him or upon him. His friends in Eliphaz, the Termite, Bildad, the Shuhite, and Zophar, they all came and told him, you know what? Deny God and die. When trials move from being external to internal pain, when the enemy is not now attacking you from the outside but from the inside of your marriage, when he attacks you not from your child but on your body, sometimes the weight of our suffering is heavier. But we need to get to hold on to God. Our faith is tested deeper. Yet, again we see Job refuses to curse God. Job refuses to deny God. And I want to say, Job's story reminds us that faith is not just about praising God in good times, but clinging on to Him in moments of confusion, pain, and silence. We are not worshiping God when things are okay, but we are worshiping God not for the what, but for the who He is. Job is discouraged by the closest, even the wife, the friends. They are telling him, now this is too much pain. They are telling him, it is better that you die. But God had a purpose for Job's pain. God has a purpose for your situation. Hold on to God even when the pain becomes overwhelming. Hold on to God even when the pain becomes personal. Hold on to God even when you are taking medication each and every day. Hold on to God even when you see things are running out of hands. 3 things again. Number 1, Job chapter 2 reminds us that spiritual battles can intensify over time. Instead of things coming down, you may realize they have intensified. Hold on to God even when things become tough. The enemy never backs off, but God still sets the limit. There is a time that pain will be no more. Even when affliction increases, God remains in control. God is always in control, dear child of God. Don't give up. Number 2, Job is reminding us, guard your response in suffering. There are a number of people, when they go through suffering, they begin to speak, they begin to talk things that they regret later. You begin to say, God, umeniacha. You begin to say, God, it's like I'm not your child. Some people walk away from God. Some people walk away from church. But I am here to remind you, let your challenge draw you close to God's heart. The moment you see something is drawing you away from God, check yourself and question yourself. Isn't the enemy taking charge of my situation? So let your challenges draw you to the heart of God. Pain cannot tempt you to speak faithless words. Like Job, let us respond with reverence, not resentment. Even when we don't understand, let us put God at the front. And let us worship God even when it is hard. And finally, friends, Job chapter 2 reminds us that true faith again perseveres when our support fails. True faith will persevere even when your wife, even when your friends, even when your children. True faith will stand when our support fails. God will never leave you. God will never disappoint you. Remember, sometimes friends and loved ones may not know how the help may come. And they may judge us. In such moments, lean fully on God's strength. In such seasons, remember God is for you. So God bless you so much, friends. And I want you to remember that the fire may reach your skin, but let it not burn your faith. Even when others give up, choose to say yes to God like Job. Shall we accept God, or shall we accept good and not trouble? May God help us to walk with Him even when life is tough. God bless you as you walk in the footsteps of Job.